To make
Hi
a
everyone,
photo
I'm
easel,
going to
you'll
part
need
2,
some
so
of
let's
these
continue.
things, lolly sticks. Now you can
It
buy
is
these in
as I
packets
say,
from
like you
supermarkets
do.
or even art and craft shops, or you could collect your own when you've finished eating your lollies. But get stuck in because you'll need 8 of these all together. Now
Right,
take
8.
2 lolly sticks and then take some PVA glue or some good strong all-purpose glue and squeeze a blob onto the end of one of the sticks like that, and just overlap the other stick by about 2 centimetres and press it down into the glue like that, and just press it firmly into place and hold it till it's dry. And when it's dry, you'll have one long stick that looks like that. Then make another long stick in the same way using 2 lolly sticks, and then place them side by side on a flat surface and just press them together, just push them together like that so that they nearly touch at the top but not quite, so you've got sort of an A shape. Then take your photograph that you want to frame, place it in the middle of the sticks like that and push it slightly up to the top there, so it's slightly nearer the top than the bottom, and then let it fall onto the sticks gently. Try not to let the sticks move, and then take your glue and put a blob of glue above the photograph onto each stick. Try not to get any glue on your photo, and then a blob of glue on each of the sticks below the photo, and again try not to make anything move here. And you notice I've got nice clean sticks here. That's because I've washed them after I've eaten the lolly. Try not to make anything move there, and then take another stick, place it in the glue
I'm going to be honest.
below your photo, and
I
just
have,
line it up
I do have,
to the bottom of the photo,
like
press it in the glue,
magnums.
and then take
With a
another stick
lolly.
and very carefully snap it in half. But be careful that you don't get any splinters there. If you do get any splinters, just trim them off. Put one half of that stick to one side, you'll need that in a minute, and put the other half of the stick, yes, you've guessed it, above the photograph,
top.
into the glue,
AKA above the
a sort of
photo.
crossbar across the top. Just line it up with the top of the photo, and then carefully lift your photo off and leave those sticks to dry in the glue.
Perfect.
And when they're dry, you'll have something that looks like that, and that is your photo easel frame. That's the bit at the front that the picture goes on. Now, to make the bit at the back here, the stand, just take 2 more lolly sticks, and this time overlap them by a half a stick. 2 centimetres the first time we did it, but now it's half a stick. See that? And glue those 2 together like that, so you then have something that looks like that. And that will now be your stand. Then take that half stick that we put to one side, and the idea is to draw around that onto a piece of good strong drawing paper and cut it out so that you have a similar shape to that, only in paper, so it's like a paper flap. Throw this half stick away now, you won't need that, but you will need this paper flap, and the idea is to fold that in half. Now it can be a bit fiddly, so do it carefully. Just fold it in half like that, and then open it out again and take some more glue and just smear some glue all over the inside of that paper flap, and then very carefully just place the tip of your stand over the edge of that paper flap into the glue, and then close the flap like that so that it sandwiches the stand, and half of the paper is gripping the stand there and the other half of the paper is sticking to itself, and just hold that into position till it's dry. When it is dry, you'll have a strong paper flap on the end of your stand sticks, and then you just stick that to the back of your photo easel frame on that top crossbar up there, and you just put a dab of glue on the back of that top crossbar and place that flap into the glue and hold it firmly in place till it's dry. And again, when that's dry, you now have this strong paper hinge at the top that forms your stand, and then it's ready to paint. And you paint it using a nice light brown poster or acrylic paint, and just slop it onto your easel, all over the easel. Paint the whole thing, front and back. I'll just do this bit quickly to show you. And when your paint is dry, you can add on some felt tip pen detail. And that's exactly what I did with this one. Let's have a look at this. What I've done is the old wispy black lines with a thin black felt tip pen there to create the wood grain effect. That's very easy to do. And I used a silver pen to put dots here to look like nails on the joints. And then to stop it falling over, I've just tied some thin string around the legs and around the back of the stand so it doesn't open out too far. And then it's simply a case of positioning your stand wherever you want to and place your photograph on your photo easel stand. Look at that, a real masterpiece. Try it yourself, a photo easel.
Glad.
Now, as I said earlier, most of the stuff that I use for my art attacks is just rubbish that you're going to throw away. But this next art attack does need something that you have to go out and buy from art shops or even chemists. This stuff, plaster of Paris. Now, if you haven't used it before, you just mix it with water, pour it into a mould of some sort, and it goes rock solid. But just take a look at this star sign wall plaque. It looks good, doesn't it? Well, this was made with just plaster of Paris and a little bit of help from a margarine tub. Now, you need an empty, clean margarine tub. The bigger you can find, the better. And I've got one with a round bottom there. And then take a clump of plasticine, big enough to fit into the palm of your hand, and roll it into a ball. And then squash it on a flat surface into a flat, circular pancake. You need to just press down on top of it, like that, so that it's about 1 centimetre thick, so that it's big enough to just fit into the bottom of your margarine tub, like that, and it has to leave a gap of at least 1 centimetre around the edge. That's very important. You'll see why in a minute. Then take the flat surface of your plasticine and draw any design you like into it. And I'll tell you what looks really good, your star sign. Now, of course, your star sign depends on what birth date you are, but if you don't know what your star sign is, or even what it looks like, why don't you look in the daily newspapers? They always have little drawings of them in there on the stars page. Now, my birthday is in October, so I'm Libra, which is the scales. So I'm just going to draw in, with a blunt pencil, a set of scales. Now, you don't have to draw a complicated picture.
What my is.
Just a very simple picture. Comes out very effective. And don't press in too hard. You don't want to go right through the plasticine. And you could always use your finger just to press
I am a photo.
Like that. See the scales there.
B-I-R-D-L. No. Oh.
Yeah, I'm pressing it in with my finger.
I will say that again.
And I do a couple of stars there.
B-I-R-D-L. Photo.
A star sign. It looks a little bit messy at the moment.
And
you watch what
says
happens.
Focus on your heart and dreams for the future, and give yourself permission to think outside of the box. It's important to allow your imagination
a free rein the edges down with your finger so that they're very firm onto the margarine tub. This is so when you pour the plaster of Paris mixture in, you don't want it to seep underneath. And if you do squash any of your picture at this stage, you just go over it again in pencil. When you've done that there, that's nice and solid. Then take 5 tablespoons of plaster of Paris powder.
Okay, so here's a question for you guys. What is
and
your
mix it with about a mugful of water.
Let me know on Twitter
plaster of Paris,
or
you can always use some moulding powder from the art shops. And if you get a packet of this, a whole packet will do. I'll do loads of these, so it's good value. And then just pour your plaster of Paris mixture into your margarine tub. Like that. There it goes. And then cut a length of string that's about 40 centimetres long. Lay it over your tub like that, and then press the middle of the string down so that it goes into the plaster of Paris about 1 centimetre. And just hold it in there like that, and then leave it to set. And look, do me a favour, if you've got any plaster of Paris mixture left over, don't pour it down the drains, because when it sets, it'll block them up. Just pour it into a plastic bag, and when it sets, put it in the bin. Now, it'll take about half an hour for the plaster of Paris to set, and when it's set, it's gone rock solid like this, and the string is firmly stuck in there. And then just crack the outside of your margarine tub and press out. Look at that, you've got a 3D plaster of Paris. It's like a sculpture at the moment, isn't it? Now, the idea is to paint it, and you can use acrylic paint or poster paint, but it's best to just slosh on a layer of paint first to seal in the plaster of Paris. And look, I'm just going to slosh on this blue to show you. Actually, blue works very well because the star sign, the
blue,
midnight blue.
I love you.
And just slop it on. You can be very neat about it. I'm just sloshing it on there to show you. And when it's covered, you'll have something that looks like that. Look at that. And now the good bit. Pick out the detail using a gold or a silver pen. Look at this. I'm just going down all the raised bits, all these 3D bits. You get this great effect here. And if you go around the outside, around there, it creates a frame. And again, around there, you can do the whole lot, do it very neatly. It takes a bit of time to do. When it's finished, you'll have something that looks like that.
Ta-da!
Look at that. And what I've done is I've even tied the string on the back so I can hang it up, snipped off the excess bits, and that's it. That is my star sign, Libra. And there are 12 star signs to choose from. Find out which is yours. Now, it could be one of these. It could be Cancer, the crab. Or it could even be Pisces, the fish. But if you can't find your star sign, why not design your own? Look at that, that star sign, the sun and the moon. So try it yourself, a 3D plaster of Paris picture.
Right.
One of the things I make sure never gets thrown out are these things. Cardboard tubes, whatever shape or size they are. And you know, the best of all these tubes are loo roll tubes. Now, in most people's houses, they're disappointed when they run out of loo roll. But in my house, whenever we run out of loo roll, I'm absolutely delighted, because it means there's another tube for me to get my hands on. Well, here's a really neat art attack that you can build up each time there's a new loo roll tube available in your house. Build your own totem pole.
Loo rolls.
Brilliant art attack, totem poles. Now, tribesmen carve their totem poles out of hollowed out tree trunks. Now, we're going to carve our totem poles out of hollowed out loo roll tubes. Now, you can use as many as you want, and the idea is to stack them one on top of each other. And to get them to join together, we'll have to make some cardboard collars. And to do this, cut some strips of cereal box card, and you need to have strips that measure the same width as your loo roll tube, but a couple of centimetres taller, and you need 3 of those, and then just roll it up like that and pop it into the top of your loo roll tube and just force it out to the shape of your loo roll tube and press it in so it goes about halfway in, and then glue or tape it securely in place. And when your tape or your glue is dry, do the same with the rest of your loo roll tubes, and you'll have some really secure cardboard collars, and you'll be able to stack them one on top of the other like that. And when you've got them, just take them apart like that and then design on your totem pole faces. Now, it's a good idea to make these as bizarre as you possibly can. Because you see, those tribesmen of Northwest America and Canada, they used to make some really weird and bizarre carvings, and they were based on their chief's family or the history of their chief. And I don't know why they made them so weird. Maybe it was to frighten other tribes away or something like that. But I think it's great fun to make some really gruesome faces. You can model them on whoever you like, really. Maybe even your own family. And when you've got it to this stage, you can, if you want, paint it. But if you want to make it look realistic, make it look really carved, then add some 3D to the features, and you can pop on some cut-out bits of cardboard. There's a nice cardboard nose. Or what about this? Why not mix some PVA glue in equal parts
See you guys in
with
part
water, and
3.
then dip in some scrunched up